So, Alexandra, tell us, what were the challenges you experienced as an actress in the entertainment industry here in Spain?
It's really a complex question.
Yeah.
Yeah, because being an actor or actress in Spain, it's really hard. You know, it's not just, I think, 4% of the actors really works only as an actor. The rest has to, well, survive. So it's really a hard job, you know. But as a Filipino, it's even a little bit more harder, right? Because, well, of course, having these features, like, it helped me to play beautiful roles like Teresa in 1898, Los Últimos de Filipinas, of course. And it opened me to the cinema industry. But at the same time, it limited me in other ways. It wasn't until recently that I could start to audition for characters that they don't have to be necessarily Asian. I mean, as who I am as a person, as Alexandra, I'm not represented on the fiction as a Filipino, but Spanish, I mean. So it was really hard because, of course, if it was Asian character, I could have the audition. But if they were looking for a woman between 20, 30 years old, and it was like normal woman, I wasn't allowed to do it. They just thought that it has to be white on that time, no? It wasn't just an Asian problem, it was with different ethnicities. But it's good that right now things are changing, most when these global platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney started to feel that our world changed and life is more mixed right now, right? So I think that helped a little bit. Not too much, because there's a lot of things to do. But yeah, it just opened a little bit of the journey for actors non-white. I think it's important to also have stories that are not like the typical, we have to start to write stories. I think the society right now, it's more open to enjoy other perspective, and on that perspectives, we're all welcomed.
What inspired you to start a career in the entertainment industry?
This is really not as expected, because I know a lot of actors and actresses that they always say like, yeah, I knew it since I was a kid. It's not my case. But I think this is really a Filipino heritage.
Yes.
Since I can remember, I always had a mic in my hand because of the karaoke's.
Okay.
You know? So I remember, because we were living in Barcelona, my mom used to record me with a camera, or my dad, while I was singing in the karaoke, and then send the tape to the Philippines. That was a way so they could see me, because they couldn't travel in that time. So that was cute, right? It was beautiful, really romantic. Now everything is so easy, you know? But yeah, and I think that was something that it was really part of culture at home, you know, like singing, and it felt normal. And then when I was 18, I went in a show called Operación Triunfo. It was a singing contest, a really famous contest here in Spain. But I didn't have expectations about it, because having Filipino migrants' parents was really difficult for someone like us. I'm talking obviously about my experience, but my dad was really strict. So it wasn't really an option to be an artist in Spain. You know, this is, I think I heard a lot of Filipino like me saying that we all studied things like engineering, attorney, right? Doctor, these kind of things, right? In my case, was chemical engineering. Yeah, but I really did it because I thought that was the way to make them proud. So I was a really good student and I get into uni. But before that, that was the first time I could send a video on the internet for Operación Triunfo. So I was studying, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna record a video, send it anyway, it's not going anywhere, you know? And then I received a message telling me that I was accepted and I passed the first audition. So I just had to keep going and keep doing some auditions. At first I didn't want to tell my parents. I was afraid maybe they wouldn't love it or support me. But when I was almost in the program, my dad was really supportive. It was weird, like being so strict on the beginning and then suddenly he was really by my side. I really, really appreciate it.
You discovered, of course, through the singing competition. Of course, Operación Triunfo is the biggest singing competition on TV here in Spain and very much known all over the world. And you finished fourth place. That's an amazing feat as a young artist.
Someone called me from Madrid to do a TV series. As a creator, musician, singer of the songs of the BSO of the TV series, and I just wanted to live the experience, let's just do it. I told my parents, I was like, I'm going to Madrid for 3 months, 4 months, and well, I didn't go back to Barcelona. I stayed in Madrid, and when I was shooting and seeing how that world works, I was like, okay, I think I wanna try and study first, because I didn't want to feel like I was an intrusive person in a world that I really didn't know anything about. So I started to study in Madrid in different schools of theater and interpretación. And then a year and a half after, it just became my first movie. For me, discovering interpretación, to be an actress, it wasn't about the cameras, the lights, and the fame. This is so attractive also, but I think how it helped me to be a better person, because for me, this is my experience, this is of course my point of view, but I think to be a good actor or actress has to be about empathy, understand the character, understand what evolves it, the context, and it really helps me as a person and helps me about myself to question things about myself. So when I felt that it was working, that I would start to work in 1898, of course, that film was really important here in Spain because it was a huge film. I started with the most important actors here in Spain, and I was just starting, But it was really beautiful to have this opportunity and start with people that really are important here, and so you can learn from them while they are working. But not only in front of the camera, how they treat team. I think that's something that I really kept for me, to understand that working on cinema or TV, it's about teamwork. You can do your best work in front of camera, but if your co-worker, it's not doing the good focus, not putting the best light, no one could see you.
Exactly.
So for me, it was everything about growth. The really project that changed my career was the platform. It was during the pandemic. There was like different facts that really helped the project and helped me as an actress.
That role, of course, we're talking about the platform or Eloyo is actually one of Alexandra's biggest projects, biggest films, because of its massive popularity on Netflix all over the world and being an award-winning film as well, of course.
It was great, and in a way, it was like, oh, that girl can act, because it feels stupid to think she's an actress. Of course, she can act, but if they don't give you the chance, it's really difficult to really show the industry your worth. So I think the platform gave me that. Even it was a small character, but it was really, really important. And it was this physicality work that I did, a little bit animal, but also with this sense of mother protection. I had so much fun playing that role. Like Código Emperador from Jorge Coira, I was repeating co-star with Luis Tosar. We worked together in 1898, The Last Man in the Philippines, and then after that we reunited again in Código Emperador. That was another character, a beautiful character, because I had to play a Filipina that worked as an cleaner assistant in a house. And in some way, I wanted to dedicate it to my mom, because this is the job that she's been doing for years here. And I wanted to really appreciate, because I think it's one of the most difficult jobs and it's not respected as it should be, This character helped me to put me in the shoes of my mother. Yeah, that was beautiful.
It's very enriching to portray a role that I would say that represents your life or part of your life, or roles that represent people close to you, right? So I can imagine that.